Welcome to Melissa's At Home Spa webinar. We're so excited to have you join us today. So, since many spas closed across the country in response to pandemic guidelines, we wanted to take a moment to just show you how to bring the spa experience home with Melissa's produce. Did you know that fruits and veggies contain a multitude of vitamins, minerals, exfoliating acids, and antioxidants that are beneficial for every skin type? You might not have thought about the produce department as a resource for skincare before, but after this webinar, you definitely will. My name is Michelle Groh, and I'll be your moderator today. My co-hosts are Kenny Katoka and Jessica Howard, who I'll be introducing in just a moment. But first, I wanted to say that we have some great giveaways planned throughout the webinar today. So we want you to be ready to respond to our rapid fire challenge questions, and you'll do so in the chat section. So the first person to respond with the correct answer wins the giveaway. And then at the very end, we'll do a raffle for a grand prize giveaway. And just to go over the technical details of the webinar really quick, we've gone ahead and muted your mics and disabled video for the audience today. So go ahead and use that chat section to take a moment to test it out and let us know where you're tuning in from. And while you familiarize yourself with the chat, I'll go ahead and introduce my co-hosts. So Kenny here, he works at Melissa's in procurement, where he travels all over the world to develop grower relations. He discovers unique fruits and veggies that Melissa's can then introduce to consumers through retailers nationwide. So Kenny, how many countries would you say you've traveled to, and can you even keep count?
Wow, that's a tough one. So there's almost 200 countries throughout the world. And I can honestly say I've been to at least 50 of them or a quarter of them. So I've been to like from the date fields in Dubai to in Chile, a mountainside of tropical cherimoyas, and been traveling all over.
Wow, well, thanks for joining us today. So Jessica here, she's been practicing skincare in Southern California for over 14 years. She's the licensed esthetician and the founder of the OC Spa Skinvibrations. So Jessica, during the pandemic, you had to close your business not once, but twice to adhere to imposed state guidelines. And like many business owners during this time, you had to pivot. You set up at-home facial kits, you conducted video chat skin consultations, and these are just a few ways that you were able to adapt during these times. And recently, you've received the green light to reopen for the third time now. Honestly, the whole thing kind of reminds me of the opening scene from Bob's Burgers. And with all of that said, what would you say was your biggest takeaway from this experience?
The biggest takeaway, I have to say, it was honestly, it just led to so much more self-growth than I could even imagine. And it really just solidified the need to keep evaluating the present times, no matter what industry you're in, and finding ways that you can continue to stay relevant and provide your role to your clients or customers' lives the way that you have been. And having to realize where we were and, you know, my position to my clients, I didn't want to let that go. So I had to find the ways to stay relevant and continue to deliver everything that I always have, just on different levels.
I love that. You definitely showcased your way to adapt to like any of the situations that you were kind of thrown in this process. And I think spa fans also had to pivot, you know, not being able to book appointments anymore. Insert at-home beauty treatments. And so we've recruited Jessica to create some fun DIY spa recipes using Melissa's fresh aloe leaves, Kiwano melons, cactus leaves, cactus pears, and honeycomb. And now she's here to school us on the beauty benefits of these familiar and not so familiar items in produce. So first up, we have Melissa's aloe vera leaves. Now, I know what aloe vera gel is. It's basically my best friend after spending too much time in the sun. But I never really worked with the ingredient in its raw form before, Kenny. So what's the story on these aloe vera leaves? Have they always been available in produce departments? And what do you think people like normally buy them for at the grocery store?
All right, so when it first started, you know, many years ago, A lot of ethnic markets did carry them. They understood it. It's not actually a cactus, so it looks like one, but it's actually a succulent. And because it's succulent, it retains a lot of water inside. And so, yeah, in the early days, it wasn't ethnic market, but now, because of what some things like Jessica is doing, it is really mainstream now, and you'll find them in many markets. I'm going to try to cut one up right now.
Nice. And if the audience wants to chime in on the chat and let us know their favorite ways to use aloe leaves, that would be awesome.
You could tell it's a lot of gel in here.
It definitely gets slippery.
But it's very sticky. You can see the color in there. Is that pretty cool there?
Oh, wow. You make it look so easy, Kenny.
And from there you go. Yeah.
Nice. So taking a step back, like all the way back to the farm, Kenny, what can you tell us about the procurement process for this item? Like, where does it come from? How do they harvest them? And do we have access to these year round?
Yes, it is available year round. So our grower, we have two main growers. One's actually in California in the lower Coachella Valley, and the other one's in Mexico. They're practically grows, and it's commercially grown. So they grow in rows, and they have nice cutting methods there, and they have to seal them because you could tell the gel will just leak. So they seal them at the end, and they deliver them to us.
Nice. And Jessica, I know you can think of a few skin-centric ways to use this item. What else can we use with aloe for besides smearing over sunburns?
Well, aloe is actually a very multifaceted ingredient. You can use it in so many kinds of ways. It packs so many benefits, such as soothing sunburns. It also eliminates inflammation and itching and bug bites. It's cooling, anti-inflammatory, and it's also rich in vitamins and minerals that help boost your skin's cellular functions. So it keeps it going at its best rate that it can, and also increases your collagen production, which eliminates the fine lines and wrinkles and prevents them from coming. That's the biggest key. If we can prevent them from happening, great. So it helps with all of that, aids in your elasticity. For uses, like we said, we have the burns. You can literally just like cut a little piece off like Kenny did and just rub it on a bug bite if you have one. It'll take away the itching and that swelling in no time. You can use it as a hydrating makeup remover. So it's a great alternative to those towelettes or a lot of the different like removing products that you see in the stores that do have ingredients that can clog your pores. It helps fight acne, so you can make an antibacterial face mask with it or spot treat if you get a random breakout here and there. And you can also use it to help treat dermatitis or other skin conditions like eczema and psoriasis, things like that. So it's really multifaceted. Yeah.
Nice. We have a few comments coming in from the audience. Maggie likes to use aloe for minor cuts and sunburns. And we also have a question from the audience for Kenny. So Mickey wants to know if you can eat the flesh.
You could actually, it is good for digestion. That's a good question, very good question. So yes, I think early people use them for digestive purposes, it ease it, and you could actually eat it.
Nice. And where do these come from again, Kenny?
Both in California and Mexico.
Okay, great. So we have our first rapid fire challenge question. get ready. Our first question, and we want to start these off super easy. They'll get a little bit harder as we go. Where does Melissa source their aloe leaves from? And we'll just wait. Don't forget to respond with your answer in the chat section. And I'll be getting our response. All right. Looks like Maggie's paying attention. We have our first winner. Her response was Mexico and California. So Melissa is going to be sending you a curated at-home spa box along with Jessica's recipes. You're going to love it. She's created a body scrub, a lip scrub, and a hair mask for you. So next up is Melissa's Kiwano Melon. For over 3,000 years, this African horned melon has been fascinating the produce world. This spiky golden orange shell encases a soft, succulent, seed-filled emerald green interior. The flavor is reminiscent of cucumber with notes of melon and lime. So Kenny, where does Melissa source this fruit?
So we have two growers. One's actually in Northern California, and the other half of the year they're from New Zealand.
Okay. And what's up with the horns? Why are they so spiky?
It's just part of their nature. It is considered called the horned melon is one of the terms. Let me cut one up here.
And so what family is it a part of?
I'm sorry, I missed that question.
What family is the Kiwano melon a part of?
It's actually, believe it or not, it's actually the cucumber family.
Okay, I can see the resemblance there. Kind of looks like one.
So it is actually semi-sweet in flavor. The seeds are edible. That's actually really pretty good there.
How would you describe the texture of that fruit, Kenny?
The outer skin's almost, I could almost say it's like a latex, like a rubber. And I've known a lot of chefs, what they do is it's really of a cool, like little centerpiece there. Well, they'll hollow it out.
And you said these are in the cucumber family, right, Kenny?
Yes.
Okay.
Just look at that. And then you could use this, and you could use it as like a dish, a dessert dish.
Oh, nice. I like that. So how do locals like to enjoy Kiwano melons?
You could just eat it like this out of hand. It is semi-sweet. When they get even much riper, there's almost a hint of banana in it. And at the same time, I've known people who made sauces out of it and put the salsa back into there.
Oh, nice. So the fruit's versatility extends beyond simply eating it. And lucky us, Jessica is going to show us how you can use this ingredient to make a body scrub.
Yes. So as we discussed, Kiwano melon has so many great benefits to it. It is loaded with vitamin C and water, so it's going to be really hydrating, extremely wound healing, and it also helps fight and combat free radical damage. So especially with the air quality we have right now, with all the fires going on everywhere, there really isn't a better time to do this. The vitamin C and the antioxidants in the Kiwano will literally pull the free radicals from your skin and help reverse that damage, as well as smoothing and brightening your skin. Are we going to go into making the scrub right now? Perfect. So I have everything prepped right here, and this scrub is really awesome because you literally just throw everything into your blender, pulse it up, and then have fun with it. So I have half of a Kiwano melon already extracted here. And I just did exactly what Kenny did, cut it in half and then just scoop the seeds out. So we'll dump that in. And then I'm gonna do half a cup of fresh papaya. And when you are scooping the papaya fruit from its shell, or whatever you would want to call it, pulp, a lot of juices come from it. A lot of the different enzymes are going to be in that juice as well. So I do suggest trying to collect as much of that as you can as well. It'll just make it a little bit more smoothing. And then here I have just the seeds from one whole papaya, which is another reason I love this scrub, because I don't know, there's just something so fascinating about the papaya seeds. So to have a use for them just felt really nice. So that's half a kiwano, half a cup of fresh papaya fruit, the seeds from one whole papaya. And then here I've cut up some of the aloe, similar to what Kenny did. I just cut it into chunks. I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup of that, a heaping 1/4 cup. And then we also have a heaping tablespoon of Melissa's honeycomb, which is also another amazing ingredient that we'll talk more about later. And I'm just going to scoop that in here with the comb included. You really want to have that for all of its added benefits in there.
Nice. Yeah, there's so many great ways that you can eat these items. So it's so cool to see topical applications. You know, I've tried papaya and kiwano in like smoothies, salsas, but I've never actually like rubbed it on my skin before. But it totally makes sense where like the seeds from not only the kiwano melon, but also the papaya would be great exfoliants.
Yes, and it's just so nutritive. I mean, this DIY scrub that you're gonna make at home is gonna feel so much better and be so much more nutritive for your skin than a scrub that you would buy at the store. This is like pure phytonutrients and the plant stem cells, like everything in its purest form, and there's no junk in here, nothing that's gonna clog your pores or leave a filmy residue. It literally just leaves you soft, glowy, and like you don't even need to put lotion on after because of all the aloe and the honey. It's just so amazing. So anyways, I've thrown everything into the blender, and then I'm just going to pulse it up really quick. Bear with me. Move my blender over a little. Okay, so I have just blended it until the seeds have broken up into kind of like a coffee ground size.
And just so the audience knows, we're going to be providing all of Jessica's recipes at the end of the webinar, so you can be sure to try all of them at home yourself.
Yes, and then here you have it. So this is the end result that literally took 2 minutes. And you have an awesome scrub ready to go. It's like a whole body treatment in one. It's like your scrub, your mask, lotion, good to go, mini spa day, one shower. Can't beat it.
Nice. And so say we don't use the whole thing in one shot, like how long is the shelf life? Do we just like put it in the fridge or can it sit in the shower?
Yeah, so you want to keep it in the fridge for up to, like, I would say 2 weeks is good. The honey is a natural preservative, so you do definitely have some shelf life with it. You just want to keep it covered and definitely in the fridge. Don't leave it out because with all the fruits in it, it can start to go sour.
Okay.
So Jessica, I guess you wouldn't want to use the shell for a back scrub or nothing. That would be
No, but maybe a little acupressure or something.
nice.
Love it. Okay, round 2 for our giveaway. What family does the Kiwano melon belong to? And as before, just go ahead and respond in the chat section. The first one to respond with the correct answer will win. And Monica is on top of it. It's the cucumber family. So Monica, you'll also be winning a curated at-home spa box. And we're going to go ahead and move on to our next item now, where we're featuring Melissa's cactus leaves. So Kenny, tell us, where do these come from?
So all our cactus leaves do come from Mexico.
Okay. And so can you tell us about the farm at all? Like, what was something you learned about the locals while traveling there?
Sure. So on the cactus leaves, you know, they grow all different shapes and sizes and whatnot. And it's a cactus, so they do grow prolifically. It's a lot of ethnic stores. It's good to eat. I've tried it. I eat it. Uh, and in the farmland where they do, there is needles in it. So there's little spiny little needles, and they use this very coarse glove, and it actually, when it's freshly picked, the needles scrape off real easily.
Okay. So for many produce items, consumers are thinking about ripeness while selecting at the store. What does this process look like for cactus leaves? Like I imagine ripeness isn't really a factor.
So when they come in, they're just regularly, basically ready to use. Just you have to wash them, but they're ready to use. So I've seen it where they just, they just dice it. You don't have to peel it or anything. You use it whole. I've had it previously and just in breakfasts. Our chef Marco Zapian does a great dish where he just steams it, puts it on the side, puts some flavoring on it, and it's delicious.
Nice. So you mentioned the process for removing the needles, when they're out harvesting, but what does that process look like, at home for the consumer? I know Melissa's cactus leaves have like none, if any, on them.
Yeah, they do a pretty good job. Yes, they do a pretty good job. But yes, occasionally you're gonna find a needle on there still after you take it home. So you just got to be very careful. We always suggested using gloves while working with Nepalese or cactus, and that way you don't get pricked.
Okay. And so how did you say was the best method for removing them?
You could either use the little pliers, little knife, or just maybe just a little needle nose pliers and just pluck it out of there.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I love nopales. They're great with eggs, soups, stews. You can chop them up and just steam them as a side for dishes. And Jessica, I hear cactus is very popular, in beauty products across the board. What would you say are the benefits of cactus leaves for the skin, and what can you make with it at home?
Well, cactus is really another one of those skincare superheroes. Actually, I would call it a beauty superhero because you can use it in so many different ways, from topical skincare application as well as your hair care. Cactus has vitamins A. Ooh, I just touched it and got scared I was gonna get pricked. It's instinctive with cactus. Anyways, it has vitamins A, K, and C, which also help fight that free radical damage. Increases your cellular turnover, which is what helps prevent your skin from getting that dull, dead cellular layer on the surface. And it also stimulates collagen production, which is going to go into preventing, sagging skin, fine lines, and wrinkles again. And it also has riboflavin and polysaccharides in it, which help your skin prevent transepidermal water loss, which is a natural process of the skin where your skin actually starts to give off and lose its own water content due to dehydration or just being out in the elements too long, whether it be in the sun, again with the smoke, just being outside and living life really. And the cactus will help prevent that from happening. So it helps restore your skin's barrier and just keep everything intact for you. Like I said, you have so many different uses from it, but one thing, when you get it, you can literally just chop it up like Kenny did. And throw it in your blender, and then you can pour it through a strainer and keep that liquid stored in, like a mason jar or something. And you can add it to your facial cleansers. You can use it as a facial tonic or toner, a light hydrating layer. So you can literally just like swipe it with a cotton, and it'll provide a nice little hydration addition to your regimen. And you can also make some fun hair treatments with it.
Nice. Okay, audience, it's that time again. Next challenge question. What's the best way to remove the thorns? And we gave you a couple options here, so any of those will work. And again, respond in the chat section. And we already have a winner, Robin. The answer is pliers. That was one of the answers that Kenny provided. And so we'll also be sending you an at-home spa box as well. So thanks for playing. And next up, and not venturing too far from the cacti family, we're going to focus on Melissa's cactus pears. And Kenny, I'm excited to learn more about these. They're so abundant on our family hikes in SoCal. And similar to dragon fruit, they also grow on cacti. But do dragon fruit and cactus pears grow on the same plant, or are these different succulents?
There are totally different plants, yes. Yes.
And so how are they different? Is it just like a different variety? Like, do they look different?
Totally different variety altogether. Yeah, so actually the cactus pears do grow on the cactus itself. So on this, and they'll grow like this, and there'll be many of these cactus pears on them. But usually the ones that do grow for the cactus pears are on these large, very large nopals or cactus leaves. So there's multiple, could be 20 pears on any given any paddle.
Oh, wow. And so what are some common names that people may have heard instead of cactus pear?
So another term many people use is a prickly pear.
Prickly pear. I've also heard tuna. Jessica, have you heard of any other names?
Cactus figs.
Oh, cactus fig. Okay.
Okay. I'm cutting one up right now. Beautiful piece of fruit, isn't that?
So vibrant.
So pretty.
And they come in different colors too, right, Kenny?
Yes. There is some varieties that are almost a vibrant green.
Oh, wow.
Kenny, do the pears have the thorns too, or just the petals?
Just occasionally you'll find one, but more so you'll on occasion find maybe a thorn.
Awesome.
Yeah. But you see really color, and they're actually, almost like semi-sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Do they get sweeter after you harvest them?
I think yes, they do.
Okay. So this fruit, I've had it a couple of different ways, and I do find it to be quite tasty in a hibiscus cocktail. Just saying, if you really want to get into that rest and relaxation mode. So Jessica, you made a hair mask with this ingredient. What are some other things you can make with this fruit, and what are the beauty benefits in doing so?
Well, some of the other things that you can make with this fruit, you had mentioned making a hibiscus cocktail. We can make it a little more spa vibey and make a cactus pear spa water. You can even add in a couple little aloe chunks if you want to kind of use a few of the different things today. But yeah, it's loaded with antioxidants and it has antiviral as well as anti-inflammatory benefits. So whether you're going to be intaking it through a beverage of your choice or applying it topically, all of the cells in your body are going to gain that benefit from this fruit. And good skin really does start on the inside. So as much of the dual action as we can get, then just the more promoting you're going to be to having that healthy skin. It also aids in the anti-aging department with diminishing fine lines and wrinkles, also preventing them. And it also heals and brightens not only sunspots, but also scars. So a lot of people have scars or even stretch marks, that we get over time that, you may want to diminish or at least reduce and eliminate that reddish tone in them. And applying the cactus fruit or the cactus pear will help with that immensely.
So, Jessica, just to interrupt you, how does that work? Do I just like smear it on straight up, or are there different combos that you have to like mix it with so like the skin absorbs it?
I would suggest, you literally can just scoop the fruit out and just kind of, mash it up or blend it a little bit. And again, just apply it directly on an area, kind of use it like a body mask. You can also do the same thing that we did with the cactus paddle and just juice a bunch of it or blend it up, straighten it, and then keep that tonic stored in your fridge for a couple weeks, and you can kind of add it here and there. You can use it as a beauty tonic. It's great for your hair. You can just literally add the juice to your shampoos and conditioners, and it's going to add so many more benefits to it, along with fighting frizz, which is nice because your hair is going to be so much more smoother and more hydrated, so we won't have to worry about things like that so much. And yeah, you can add it to different masks. You can add the juice or the fruit to like Greek yogurt, or again with the honeycomb, and you can make a super antioxidant rich brightening mask. You can just apply it, do your dishes, clean your house, let everything absorb, and by the time you're done, you'll just look like a whole new person that was just at the spa.
Wow, nice. Yeah,
That's so
I
cool,
did.
Jessica, and I always thought here I am thinking we could only eat it, and you got all these other ways you could use these fruits.
Well, and don't get me wrong, Kenny, I love food and fresh produce too. So oftentimes when I get these things and I have excess, I'm like, what can I do? Let's shower in it.
That's great.
So I did like a deep dive on Pinterest and Google, before we joined the webinar, and I saw that some people even use the seeds in the cactus pears to make like an oil, right?
Yes. The seed oil has so many benefits to it too. It's like micronized little molecules of all of the antioxidants and all of the benefits just packed into this little seed powerhouse. However, I don't know how to make oils. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with extraction methods or anything like that. But I was going to say, I mean, the cactus pear and paddle is not a new ingredient to the beauty scene. It's commonly found in hair treatments, skincare treatments on department store product shelves, like worldwide. So it just kind of goes back to like, you definitely can use it at home, fresh, straight from the source too. But again, with that oil, I don't know how many seeds you would need to make it, and I don't know that extracting method. So if anybody does know, please share with us.
We do have one question about the seeds from the audience, and I think this one's more towards Kenny. So our audience member wants to know, are cactus pear seeds edible?
Yes, they are. They're so small. I'm looking at them right now. They're just very, very tiny. So yeah, yes, they're edible.
Okay, great. All right, so we are ready for our next giveaway. And the question is, what is another name we mentioned that people use to refer to cactus pears? So go ahead and answer in the chat section. First person to respond with the correct answer will win. So Kenny, how many DIY spa recipes have you made?
I'm working on it now. I'm definitely working on some. I kind of like the idea of maybe Jessica, we'll use one of these as acupuncture.
Nice.
Why not?
So we have our correct answer from the audience. Stacy responded with cactus fig. So Melissa will be sending you your very own at-home spa box. And remember that cocktail idea if you want to upgrade that R&R experience. And so we're moving on to our next ingredient, and one that you might not know that Melissa's offers, and it's honeycomb. We've mentioned it a little bit before. And I'm sure our audience already knows honey is crazy good for the skin, but I have a feeling Jessica and Kenny can tell us a thing or two we didn't know about honeycomb. So Kenny, starting with you, where is Melissa's honey from?
Okay, our honeycomb is actually grown in the United States. And what's really cool is, so look at this. How do they put the honeycomb inside this little tray here? But actually, the tray is actually already, these are commercial growers, so the trays are actually already in the beehive. So they have trays in the beehive, and then the honeycomb is produced by the honeybees.
Oh, wow. So Kenny, I see you have a tray and the jars.
Yes, we have a jarred version also.
Are those the same honey, or are they like from different regions?
They should be from the same region, yes.
Okay. So did you get a chance to visit the hives?
Yes, I visited many hives throughout every year. We always see in any kind of fruit, prior to the fruit production, you need bees to pollinate. But then in the honeybee aspect, here's a really good story here. So we actually were in the Midwest a few years ago, and took some marketing people, and they came, and it's the first time this person has ever been out, see growers, and actually saw beehives, and they were really astounded. Wow, they've never seen a beehive. And we actually told, be very careful, please, because you don't want to disrupt the beehive, because they actually will swarm and they'll sting you. But somehow telescopic lens actually tapped the beehive, and he got swarmed, and he started running, and did get a couple stings on him.
Oh my gosh. I
Yeah,
hope he was okay.
yeah, it was okay. We didn't laugh too hard there.
Well, going back to the product, can you eat the honeycomb? Like, is that whole thing edible?
Yes, you actually can. You actually could chew it. So what's really cool is this honey. And it has that wax filament there. So you actually can chew this, in which I will here. Here we go. Okay.
Yum.
Pretty good.
So, Kenny, you know the term making a beeline?
I'm sorry?
Where does that come from? Do you know?
I'm sorry, I missed that one.
So, you know the term making a beeline? Do you know where that comes from?
No.
Okay, neither do I. I was just curious. Jessica, how about you?
Well, I'm kind of just going, like, referring back to Kenny's story. It sounds like they definitely beelined it for the hills where those bees got struck.
I know, right?
I just got it.
So, Jessica, I hear that honeycomb has like a whole bunch of nutrients that actually regular honey can't bring to the table. How would you say that translates into the DIY recipes and beauty benefits?
Well, the beauty benefits of honey are endless, and honey is the oldest skincare ingredient, dated all the way back to the Cleopatra times. She would bathe in the milk and honey baths for softer skin. But with the honeycomb, it is still in its raw state, so it hasn't been heated or extracted, which are processes that eliminate a lot of the benefits and nutritional value of the honey itself. So when you're getting Melissa's honeycomb, you're really getting the whole powerhouse of everything that honey can offer to you. It is a natural humectant, which means that it's going to help your skin bind to moisture in the air and help retain it, as well as preventing that transepidermal water loss we were talking about earlier. And it also helps prevent sun damage and the free radical damage as well. All of the antioxidants and different ingredients in it, not ingredients, the different benefits to it really contribute to brightening, softening, and just overall health of the skin. Of all of the ingredients that we're looking at today, you can literally just take straight honey and put it on your skin as a face mask. You can do things as simple as like lip scrubs. I know, well, maybe not you, Kenny. I don't know if you've been to any cosmetic stores lately, but lip scrubs are such a huge beauty trend, especially throughout the summer and as we get into these winter months, where all of skin everywhere just gets drier, more chapped, and we're all just seeking out ways to keep that smooth, plump smile. And as opposed to buying these $30 lip scrubs, you can literally, and you can use the honeycomb too, but I'm just kind of dipping in the residue left over from the honey I had for the scrub. You can dip your finger in honey and then just dip it in raw sugar or whatever you have laying around and apply it to your lips, and you're gonna get such an amazing exfoliating and hydrating lip scrub. Again, like I said, you can put it straight on your face and your lips as a hydrating and nourishing mask, You can mix it with yogurt, and it's going to be a little bit more brightening, maybe a little creamier. The milk and honey baths are out of this world. So if you have never tried that and you are an avid bather, as opposed to trying a bath bomb, I highly suggest just throwing like a couple tablespoons of the honeycomb into your bath, and it just melts, and it not only smells good, but it softens your skin and it just leaves you so soft and hydrated. And you can also use it as a facial cleanser. So you can use it, I would suggest doing it as a double cleanse if you have, just kind of like congested or oilier skin. And you can rub the honey and the honeycomb all over your face, rub it in, it'll emulsify and bind to your makeup or any surface debris we have from the environment. And then as you rinse it, it all just like melts away. And if you feel like it leaves a little bit of a residue, or maybe you're oilier, you just want a little bit more, then you can follow it with your foaming or, cleanser of choice for a really awesome double cleanse. So it's so multifaceted. Like I said, lip scrub, lip balm, you can use the wax itself and it'll just melt into dry, chapped skin. And, you can make fun baths with it on top of all of the fun drinks and food options that you have with it as well. They're going to feed you those benefits from within.
So if people are allergic to bees, can they still do a honey bath? Would you advise for that or against that?
Yes. From my awareness, if you have a bee allergy, you're allergic to the sting. Some people can be allergic to honey itself. And if you are allergic to the actual byproduct of the bees, then I would suggest staying away from honey. And you'll know if, say you eat honey, and a lot of people will get that throat itch, or say you apply it or you've used products in the past that have honey, and you may get red, irritated, even itchy. If those are things that you have had experience with honey, then I would suggest steering clear. But if you're just allergic to bees, dive into the honeycomb because it is so amazing. And if you get stung by a bee, the antiviral benefits will help extract that venom that comes from it.
Kenny, have you ever been stung by a bee?
I actually have, yes.
Was it visiting one of the hives or no?
Oh, yes, it was actually in the field. Naturally, it's in the field. And it seems like growers are immune, and they say, don't worry, if you don't bother them, they won't sting you. But sure enough, I got stung.
And I wanted to let you know, Maggie from the audience responded and just wanted to let us know that the making a beeline term, it alludes to the shortest route that the worker bees take to bring nectar and pollen back to the hive, which I forgot, but thanks for reminding me, Maggie.
Bye.
And there you have it, folks. We focused on 5 products from Melissa's that are begging to make it to your next DIY spa routine. And I'm sure after some lengthy time browsing Pinterest, just like I did, I'm sure you'll be thinking of a few more applications for these fresh ingredients from Melissa's. And before you leave, it's time for our final giveaway. So we've gone ahead and randomly selected a winner for the grand prize giveaway. And I'm just waiting for that information right now. It'll be here any moment. But basically, this person is going to be winning the at-home spa box, plus the recipes that Jessica mentioned, and she's offering a 30-minute video chat skin consultation where she'll go over the box with you and she'll review your own skin concerns and customize that box to meet your personal needs. And our winner is Ellen. So thanks for playing, everyone. Very exciting. We'll be following up with you after the webinar for our winners to be sending out your gifts to you. And, thanks for joining us today, all of you. You can visit melissas.com to order any of the products that we mentioned today if you weren't one of our lucky winners. Or you can locate, any of these items at your favorite grocery stores. If you have any problems locating them, just let your produce manager know at your favorite grocery store, and they can go ahead and make sure they bring that in for you next time you're shopping. So thanks again for joining us. To stay connected with Jessica, visit her at skinvibrations.com, and you can also follow her on Instagram at skinvibrations.com. My name is Michelle Groh. Thank you, Jess and Kenny, for joining us. And thank you all for joining us virtually today. We hope you enjoyed this fresh perspective on skincare using produce from Melissa's. Bye.
Bye.